If you are trying to scale your Amazon business, then you need to keep watching this video because I'm about to interview a guy named Shane who is a multiple six-figure Amazon seller. He also is a fellow YouTube creator just like myself, and he's got over 25,000 YouTube subscribers. Now in this video, we're going to be covering his 3 strategies for how he scaled his Amazon business, so you want to keep watching this video until the very end. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you got value from this video and it helped you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not yet subscribed by clicking that big red button and the bell icon right next to it. Leave a comment below if you have any questions for either me or Shane. And then if you're not following me on Instagram, then search the number 1 and then Ian Smith. That's my name. Great to meet you. And then also, we're going to be covering a lot of information in this video, so be sure to watch it at 2x speeds. And then you can always scale down and adjust the playback speed from there. If you don't know how to do that, in the bottom right corner of this video is where you can adjust the playback speed. Lastly, just wanted to let you know that this video is sponsored by Zonhero, which is a software for Amazon sellers. And what Zonhero allows Amazon sellers to do is connect their Amazon seller account with their Facebook business manager. So every time that they get a customer from Amazon, that gets pushed over into Facebook, which allows them to retarget all of their Amazon customers with Facebook and Instagram ads, as well as track all of their purchase conversions with their Facebook and Instagram ads. They can actually see which ad led to a purchase on Amazon, because every time a purchase happens on Amazon, that customer data is being pulled and pushed over into Facebook. So if you're wanting to get access to this software, then head over to getzonhero.com, sign up, and start being able to retarget all of your Amazon customers with Facebook and Instagram ads, either cross-selling them or upselling them other products, or getting them to opt into your email list or your Messenger bot subscriber list. So now let's go ahead and jump into the interview where we talk with Shane and learn the 3 strategies that he implemented to scale his Amazon business. All right, guys, so I'm super excited to introduce you to Shane, who is going to be sharing 3 strategies to how he scaled his Amazon business. So Shane, thanks so much, man, for jumping on this video with me.
Ian, thanks for having me. It's good to be here, and I think we're going to have a lot of knowledge to throw at a lot of watchers today.
Cool, yeah. So tell me a little bit about what kind of Amazon seller you are, because you're not the typical that I typically work with, where it's like they go to China, they source a product, they try to really sell that. You're more in the retail arbitrage, right?
Absolutely. And so like that kind of a seller you're talking about is more like private label based and stuff like that. So really for me, I'm more retail arbitrage, which that means you're going to retail stores, you're finding clearance items or discontinued items, and then you're actually selling them for a profit on Amazon. And I also sell used books as well. So it's a little bit different strategy than what most people have.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. And actually, I saw a video recently of Gary Vee talking about this whole retail arbitrage thing. I mean, I've known about it for maybe a year and a half, 2 years or something, and I never really understood it fully. Give us a quick summary of exactly how it works and how you make a profit doing this.
So basically what I do is I'll go into Walmart or Target or CVS or Office Depot, any retail store, and I go to their clearance section. So my first stop is the clearance section, and I'll scan stuff on Amazon. And what I like is I try to make 50%. So it's 50% return, double my money. And I will find items that I can do that on, and then I buy them, and then I send them into FBA and then sell them on FBA. Now, the other types of retail arbitrage is you have also like discontinued items, which a manufacturer discontinues something. And a lot of times you can find these items and sell them on Amazon for 5, 6, 7, 8 times more than the retail value.
Okay. And why?
Well,
just because they're discontinued?
Right. Yeah. Just because they're discontinued. There was back in probably last year, I found 1 box of eye drops, okay? And I sold them for $279 because the manufacturer had discontinued them. They didn't make them anymore, and people still wanted them. They still want that product. It's demand, like supply and demand, right? But they couldn't find it. And so you typically see this a lot with discontinued products. Now, normal clearance items, just because they didn't sell in the store doesn't mean they're not going to sell on Amazon because it's
Mm-hmm.
global, right? When you walk into a Walmart or you walk into a store that's just in one city, you have one set of demographics that people that go there.
Yeah.
And so
Mm-hmm.
they may not like that item. And so that's where, as an Amazon seller, you come in and you find it and you look at the rank and the BSR on the back end and you realize, okay, this sells 5 times a week. I can buy 30 of them here and be sold out in a month and a half. Let's
Yeah.
try that.
That's awesome, man. Okay, so let's jump into the strategies. What is this first strategy that you want to share with the audience of how you were able to scale your Amazon business?
So my first strategy, it's pretty simple, and a lot of people don't like to hear it because it involves a lot of work. And my first strategy is you have to sell, like, for me, used books. Sell
Okay.
used books on Amazon first. Start out with used books because you get ungated after over time in more actual products. And people think, oh, I can just go get a wholesaler and get an invoice and get ungated. But it doesn't necessarily look or work like that. Amazon could not ungate you. And then you have 1,000 units of this product you can't sell.
Okay. And so you said undate you. What was that word you said?
Ungated. So
Ungate you?
basically what I call that is so when you start on Amazon and you're a new seller, you're restricted on products. You can't sell them. Virtually Amazon wants you to prove to them that you're a good seller and that you're not going to, you know, virtually send in crappy products, because you're selling to Amazon's customers overall. Like, it's their customers, it's not yours.
Yeah.
And Amazon sells on their own platform. So they want you to be one of the best sellers that, like, on there, period. So what they do is
Mhm.
they restrict you in a ton of name brand stuff like Hasbro and Nike and Adidas and all these big name brands. You cannot sell them.
Okay.
And so that's why I started off in used books, because when you get unrestricted, it's called ungated. And so you're gated on the restricted items. You can't sell them. You're restricted. There's two types of gatings. There's category restrictions and there's item restrictions. And so you could be restricted in an entire category.
Okay.
And so virtually when you start out selling used books, you're pretty much able to sell any used book out there for the most part.
Okay.
And so what I did my first month, I did like over 3 grand or about 3 grand in used book sales my first month on Amazon FBA.
That's awesome. That would be pretty big for someone to literally go from zero to trying out Amazon and then doing a couple $1,000 in sales. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And so that allowed me to get unrestricted over time, 4 or 5 months doing books. It allowed me to get unrestricted in all these categories, and it auto unrestricted me, which means I just applied and it just said, boom, you're able to sell this. And
Okay.
then I could go out and find it retail arbitrage in a store and sell it.
Okay, cool. So strategy number 1, sell used books. All right. So
Mhm.
what is strategy number 2?
So strategy number 2 for me, it's what a lot of Amazon sellers struggle with, and it's you have to leverage tools. So you have to leverage tools to grow your business.
Okay.
And so what I mean by that is Keepa, it lets you look at sales data, it lets you look at how many times an item sells. You want to be able to leverage like a repricer. And what a repricer does is it virtually attaches to your Amazon account and it fluctuates the price in between your
Mm,
minimum and maximum so you don't have to change it,
okay.
which is the best. I mean, because if you're changing it by hand, what's going to happen is you go into your account and you change it by hand. And then 2 seconds later, someone with a repricer like me is going to reprice 1 cent and under you or match you. And you're already out of the buy box. And at that point, you're going to reprice it by hand maybe 4 hours later and not know you really haven't gained anything, right?
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Any other tools that you can share?
Yeah, so keep just a repricer. Channel Max is a great repricer.
Okay.
Um, Also, I use BrickSeek, and BrickSeek, what that does is it helps you find stock quantities and also markdowns in retail stores like Walmart, Target, CVS, and as well as Lowe's. And so you can actually sit down, on your couch, watch some TV, and look at Brickseek, and you can see the markdowns in the stores.
Nice.
And so that helps me locate some of the clearance.
Nice. Okay. All right, cool. So leverage third-party tools, and I'm just going to
Mhm.
plug real quick Zon Hero. If you if you run Facebook ads or you want to be able to retarget your Amazon customers with ads, cross-sell them other things, check out Zon Hero. Go to getzonhero.com. But all right, so that's strategy number 2. So what is strategy number 3?
So strategy number 3. Now this strategy right here, I don't know if it's a strategy or a mindset. And what I mean by that is you have a lot of Amazon sellers flooding the market, and they are more than ever coming in to sell on Amazon, and they don't have money to buy product. They can't afford to invest money to buy products. So that causes one dilemma, and it causes people to tank the price on Amazon. And all that clearance stuff you just bought, the price is tanked and people are selling it for a loss. And
Okay.
so here's a strategy for you. If you buy clearance and you think that the price is going to tank, either send it in first or hold it. So I bought about $1,000 in toys. Now, not everybody's going to be able to do this because it requires a little bit of capital. But I bought about $1,000 in toys in the fourth quarter, and I knew they were going to tank because every Walmart had prices so cheap on toys. I was buying wrestler figurines for like $1. It was pretty insane. So I left them in a room in my house. It's a spare bedroom, set them in the closet. And virtually what happened is all these people sent their stuff in first, and they were selling it for 25 cents in profit, anywhere
wow.
anywhere to losing money, right?
Jeez, yeah.
And I just sent mine in last week, and everything was bounced back in price to where you're making $6 to $10 an item.
Nice. So just sitting on your inventory, what was that? So you waited about 6 months.
Yeah.
You bought it, waited 6 months. And I mean, if you're doing any kind of investing or money flipping, or you invest in a CD, CDs require to hold your money for 12 to 18 months in order to get a decent return. So waiting
Right.
6 months to then start to see a return isn't that crazy. So I think that's a great tip of just, how do you know though that the prices are going to be dropping like that?
So most clearance items, you can kind of gauge how many stores they're clearanced off in. So if you're in a Walmart and you find this lens cap on clearance for $1, you can type that UPC into Brickseek and you can search by price, and it'll tell you how many stores the markdown's taken in. And if it's like usually over 100, I just send it in, and I either know I'm going to be sitting on it or I'm going to hold it. And so that's just a lot of like selling and looking at the trends. Now I go to a lot of stores that it's not on Brickseek, or I go to a lot of like discontinued products. You can't find them everywhere. If you find a discontinued item and no one's finding it, you can send it in at top dollar and it will start selling immediately.
Okay, gotcha. So
Es-
go ahead. Yeah.
especially especially items that everybody else is restricted in.
Okay.
So like if you do like topicals or even OTC, over the counter medications, a ton of new Amazon sellers cannot even get into those categories. So if you find them, it's probably not going to tank and you're pretty safe.
Gotcha. Okay. So a lot of this, it sounds like you've got a lot of knowledge in your head because you've been
Yeah.
doing this for a while. You've learned the what to do, what not to do. For somebody just starting out, they may not know this stuff. Would you recommend that they stick to a small niche category and just try to sell very specific items until they start to really learn this kind of market or learn the product offerings and stuff?
So kind of what I tell everybody, and a lot of people don't agree with this, and a lot of people on YouTube don't agree with this, but I think that it is a must, is you need to start merchant fulfilling on Amazon and start in merchant fulfilling used books and maybe a little bit of like household products, right? And in that merchant fulfilling, you're learning how Amazon reacts to everything. You're learning the rules. You're learning Amazon. You're learning the platform. Then after 4 or 5 months, you break into FBA and sell used books. And then you already know the platform. You already know how it works. And you're not playing catch up.
Are you saying fulfilled by merchant because you can save on some of those fees of, when Amazon is holding your inventory, you're paying a fee for them holding it, and you're paying, extra fees. Is that why do fulfillment by merchant, to save and not have to pay those fees?
Yes, and the other part is FBA is just a little bit more risky because you get more IP claims, intellectual property claims from companies. I just got a cease and desist from GoPro like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
And so I had to recall all that stuff. Now, a lot of those merchant fulfilled sellers, they don't really get a lot of those IP claims and stuff because they're not sending it into Amazon and having it fulfilled by FBA. So it puts a target kind of on your back with a lot of stuff.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you were trying to sell, I would assume, GoPro accessories on Amazon?
Accessories, correct. It was like the goosenecks, the attachments for like the cameras to slide it in like another gooseneck. And I actually was selling them. I've actually sold them in the past, and then just out of nowhere, I received a cease and desist letter from GoPro, and I had to recall all those products. And so now I'm probably just going to keep them for my personal GoPro. So I mean, I'll have like a 5-year supply in GoPro products. So
now, what about looking into other markets like eBay, Craigslist? Can you sell it on those?
Absolutely. Like probably what I'll do is I'll take a couple of each accessories, keep them for myself, and then I may sell them locally on LetGo or even eBay. I mean, because eBay, you don't really get a lot of that stuff. You can sell pretty much anything as long as it's legal on eBay.
Okay, gotcha. Well, cool. Well, yeah, those are the 3 tips for you guys. Any other little strategies real quick while we wrap this up, Shane?
So I would say the number one thing is don't give up. And I don't know if that's a strategy, but
that's a strategy. Yeah.
The thing is there's a ton of Amazon sellers that just quit selling because they are not successful at it. So here's a little backstory: is I started merchant fulfilling on Amazon, and I merchant fulfilled for a year, and I got so sick of it because I couldn't sell a lot. I was like, this sucks. I recalled all my merchandise, I shut down all my listings, and I quit. And I didn't sell on Amazon for 2 years almost.
Wow.
And then I got into FBA, and I realized that the sales velocity is way higher. So when you're merchant fulfilling items as a merchant fulfilled seller, it's about the same velocity as eBay, which is not great, but it's not horrible.
Yeah.
And so the key is to get through that, 5-6 months of merchant fulfilling and learning the system, and then break out into FBA. And I think that's what gave me the heads up on everybody in books, is because I merchant fulfilled for like a year. And at that point, I knew a lot about Amazon already.
Okay, good to know. Well, cool. Well, thanks, Shane, for taking the time and jumping on this video and sharing these strategies. If the people want to follow you and learn more about retail arbitrage and what you're doing there, where can they go to find you? And by the way, guys, Shane's YouTube channel is going to be linked in the description below, so definitely go subscribe to his channel and check out some of his other videos.
So they can go follow me on YouTube, Rise and Grind Picker on YouTube, and Instagram, which is Rise and Grind Picker, all one word. And feel free to private message me, ask any question, follow me, give me a follow on there as well. So
cool. Well, thanks again, Shane, for jumping on this video, taking the time. And anybody, if you're watching, be sure to hit the thumbs up button below, leave a comment for any questions that you have for either me or Shane, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.